this year, right, I had my first experience with therapy, right? Beginning of this year. First experience with therapy, man. Whew. Yeah, thank you. It's tough, man. Because it took me a while to go into this process because I'm not gonna lie, I was curious about this therapy thing. I saw everybody talking about it, you know what I mean? So this is probably why they say, raise awareness, right? I saw people talking about it. I was curious. I looked at therapists like how you look at magicians. You know what I mean? Just like, oh, go on and do the thing. Let me, that's, okay. Do me, go on and chat to me and see how it goes. You know what I mean? Because I'm looking at it like, me, what are you talking? You're going to get in my head and do your thing? Shut up, you know what I'm saying? This is Fort Knox, bruv. You can't chat to me. You know what I mean? So I'm going into that conversation with the therapist. I don't know how this thing's supposed to work. We're just in there chatting back and forth. And you know what I mean? It's just like, so tell me a bit about yourself. Decision maker, you understand? Confident, you know what I mean? Man, them respect me where I go. Yeah, just the nonsense stuff to sound good. And it starts to get deep. It's like, so I understand you're a stand-up comic. Yeah, man, I've been doing stand-up, you know what I'm saying, for a good amount of years. Oh, wow, that's amazing. Did you always want to be a stand-up comic? Nah. Actually, I wanted to go to the NBA. Wanted to go to the NBA, played basketball every day, dedicated my life to this thing. Wanted to go NBA, you know what I'm saying? But I'm a stand-up comic now. It's vibes. It's like, okay. How long did you play basketball? We're still here. About 8 years, you know what I'm saying? But I'm a stand-up comic now, you know what I'm saying? Things are going well, you know what I mean? They sent me a ball streamer the other day, you know what I mean? Just, so, I'm moving and shaking, you understand? It's going all right. And then she just goes, so how did you feel when your NBA dream, you know, was crushed? You know when you start to touch the sensitive bit. So now I'm just there like, and I just snap back and say, how about you shut up? How about that? This session's over, I think it's finished anyway. Shut up, man, I'm out. Not here for the vulnerabilities, you know what I mean? I stand up here to look good and feel good about myself. But one thing therapy taught me is that, like, I didn't realize this until, you know, looking at it and exploring, is that I looked at my dad for so many, how I modeled myself as a man. Do you know what I mean? I looked at my dad in a way that's like, that's my hero, straight up. You know what I mean? Dad, I know you're here. You're my hero, bro. But, do you know what I mean? So when I used to listen to my dad's stories when I was younger, I used to look for myself in those stories, right? My dad grew up in a very different time. My dad grew up in East London when it was very racist, when racism was on the streets. Like, man were getting chased home. You black man, like, man were calling you stuff on the street, you understand? So when I listen to my dad's stories, there's a lot of fighting. You know what I mean? From young, my dad's 10 years old, having to fight 15, 16-year-olds. And I'd be listening to that as a 10-year-old thinking, rah, boy. Because you know when you're 10, 15 and 16-year-olds are massive, you know? So I'm just there listening to these stories like, I'm nothing like this. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I'd be at school, I hated confrontation. Man be in my face talking about, shut up. I'd be like, lower it, man. Like, you lower it, man. I wasn't on it. You know what I mean? And it's nuts because, like, you know, you look at yourself in life and you start thinking, like, rah, how did I get to be like this? There was never really a time in my life where I felt like I needed therapy, except one moment where I wouldn't say I needed therapy, but nothing was wrong, but something wasn't right. Yeah? When my granddad passed away, that situation there threw me for six. I couldn't believe it because I didn't know how to cry. As a man, I had shut the ability off to cry because of something that happened in secondary school. Like most black boys in this country, our first traumatic experience is in school. I was in secondary school, year 7, right? St. Dunstan School. Mr. Kitchenman is the maths teacher. This brother is a dickhead. If anybody knows him, tell him I should slap him when I see him. So I come into school on this day, right? We've got maths homework to be done. I come in, I've done the wrong page on the exercise book, right? We've got all our answers down. He's writing the answers on the board and we're supposed to be marking our own work. Every single one of my answers is wrong. I'm baffled because the first one is 3 + 3 and I'm like, I ain't that slow. So I get up, I go over there, I said, yo, sir, I don't understand my questions, they're all wrong. He goes, you know what you've done, don't you? I was like, what? He's like, you've done the wrong page. I was like, in my head, figured it out. No big deal. I've obviously tried some homework. You can't be mad at me about this. This brother leveled up the thing. He looked at me and goes, you know what you are, aren't you? you're a fool. And I'm standing there like, rah, that was a bit too heavy for this. You know what I mean? Then he doubles it again. He goes, what are you? Call and response for this dickheadry. I'm standing there, and I know this is about to be a violation if I say it. But I'm 11 years old. I don't really know the confrontation thing like that. I'm standing there, and I'm a fool. As soon as I say it, I know I've been violated. That feeling hit me immediately. I'm livid in my head. All I'm thinking is, you could never talk to me like that if my dad was here. Are you mad? The way my dad would mash you up, bro. Oh, man, all I could see was him getting flipped over the chairs. You know what I mean? But I'm standing there and the frustration is killing me. So all I can do is cry. Tears rolling down my face. I walk out the class and the tears are rolling down my face. And all I'm thinking to myself is, I'm never crying again. This didn't help me. This didn't save me. It's a dickhead thing. Shut that off. I promised myself that day as an 11-year-old child, I'm not going to cry again. Fast forward. I'm an adult, going through life. Everything feels cool. My granddad passes away. And I don't know how to process any of it. My granddad had prostate cancer, right? He had prostate cancer for quite a long time, so it wasn't a thing where it was affecting him. It was managed, it was under control. And then suddenly, it was no longer under control. I remember getting a call on Skype from my parents. Boom, granddad wants to talk to you. I get on the Skype, and I'm looking at my granddad on this Skype, and my granddad's disfigured. The cancer has taken over his body. I don't recognize my granddad in this moment. I'm with my brother and my sister. We're all there watching this for the first time together. They walk off crying. And I'm looking at my granddad's face, and I'm thinking to myself, if this is going to be the last time we speak on earth, I want to make it a good conversation. So I said to my granddad, thank you for everything you've done. The life you led has made all of our lives better. Right now, you are in a house that you built in Jamaica. The house I'm Skyping you from, you bought this house when you came over to this country looking for a better way of life. We are going to look after each other. Thank you for everything. Boom. And I remember walking away from the screen and thinking to myself, how the hell did you do that? And you didn't cry. Now I'm thinking, I'm broken. That function is gone, completely deleted. A few days later go by, I remember getting a call from my mum, granddad's passed away. Now I'm processing this thing, I'm processing it like it's maths, ironically. All I'm thinking is, well, he was sick, so naturally he's gonna pass away. And I've seen Lion King, the circle of life. This is what happens, this is how it goes, right? I'm standing there that day with my boy Keith at the time, and he goes to me, bro, you all right? And you know when men ask you, oh, I'm good, man. Yeah, I mean, I'm cool, bro. But what do friends do when they know you? They ask again. And this time round, wasn't so composed. You know those pre-cry breaths? Oh, brother, I was like, yeah, brother, I'm good. Yeah, I'm saying I'm good, brother. Me, come on. You know what I mean? Get home, he's sticking around, just lingering around. He's trying to be a supportive friend. You know what I mean? I said, bro, look, man, I know you got things to do today. It's cool. I walk him out. As I walk him out, close the door. When I get into my room, now the feeling is heavy. Like, you know when you've got some crying to do. Oh my gosh, this thing was coming from the spirit. And it was creeping up. I was like, what is this in my throat? This ball is... And the toxic masculinity is fighting the tears. Going back and forth, I thought to myself, you know what? Nah, I ain't crying. Nah, big man, let me turn on some grime. I put in some gets. I was like, let me bar through these tears. I'm standing, I was like, Dumbo, Columbo could have solved the case. I come home with a poker face. I had to stub those and then throw the clothes away. No, I'm gassed. As soon as I turn off the music, whoo, the feeling is coming back. And now it's getting heavy. And now I thought to myself, bro, because I suppressed it before, now it's coming at me with a vengeance. This thing popped up like it was vomit, bro. I was like, and you don't realize the weird things you do when you're crying. Because like I'm barred, because I ain't cried in years. This intensity is so... You know when you cry with a deep voice? Bro, snot was merging with my tears. It was horrific. But because it felt kind of nice, I went to the mirror, I wanted to see. I wanted to see how it was looking, you know what I'm saying? So I started butter. But because I ain't cried in years, now I'm linking stuff that I should have cried about years ago, linking it to this crying session. I'm just there like, why does Dennis Bergkamp so afraid to fly? Why did David A have to lose to Tony Bellew? Oh, no. Oh, it's intense. Now, boy, the floodgate is broken. I can cry about anything anytime I want. You know what I mean? Sometimes I walk in and see my girl crying. I just join in. What's wrong? What is it? What is it? But the whole process has just made me look at everything differently, this whole process. Because now I look at every part of your personality started from a root at some point in your life. This behavior came with you from a specific moment. So now I've got a way of looking at everything. I'm looking at racism in a different way. Because if everything is a root, surely stuff can be plucked and we can move forward. Because I ain't gonna lie to you, I thought violence was gonna be the only way racism gets solved, you know? I'm not even lying, I'll be real. You see that video of the guy on the train and he's being mad racist to them black boys? You black this, you black that, and it's going on for a good minute or so. Them man waited till they stop. Man stood there, he let him continue, walked off. As the door opened up, man turned around, and continued on his day. This brother fell down like a door. I said, woof. Oh, I said, fool, that's a bit too much. But at the same time, bet you won't do that again, big man. Do you know what I'm saying? Like the life I've lived, a lot of violence I've seen resolution in violence. I ain't never dealt with one bully by asking him to allow it. Big man, don't take my lunch today if that's cool. Like, oh yeah, no worries, I'm glad we had this chat. It never happens like that. I had this one brother picking on man in secondary school. Oh, this guy was a dickhead, bruv. Hated this guy, but I was scared of him as well. But then the day came and I said, you know what? I don't business. Let's go. Every time you pick on me, I'm gonna scrap. I said to him, big man, outside, let's go. We get outside. I got smoked. Like, I got beat up so fast. You know when the fight just gets completely out of control? I don't know what my game plan was. It was only in the beginning of that fight I realized I don't know how to fight. This ain't even my thing. I tried to drape him, brother. sorry. Yeah, all right, sorry, it's big man, allow it. I thought to myself, all right, the drapes and thing don't work. Let me get the hands in. Next minute, my glasses are off. I was like, bro, it's all fuzzy. Big man, I'm sorry. It was intense. But something happened to our relationship the next day. He came in the next day, tried to make a bit of banter. I said, big man, outside. He goes, all right, bad boy, allow it. And then every time we saw each other after that, we started nodding heads. And I started to realize, wait a minute, this is how bullies don't like to work. Because these men like to just bully you and intimidate you and get their way. But if you stand up to them, they're gonna have a fight. And that's not what they want to be doing. And I went through life thinking, oh, I'm always gonna stand up for myself. Do you know what I mean? And people act like violence is the worst thing ever to happen. Nah, bro. Violence keeps everything the way it is. Violence or the threat of violence keeps everybody in check. You know how many men would love to be bullies? They just ain't got the minerals. You know what I mean? Even on a political scale, look at how America deal with certain countries. When it's beef with the Middle East, them men go over there, bombs away. When we arrive, we're taking all your things. But when they had to sit down with Kim Jong-un, that brother sat down and said, if you man interfere with my nuclear program, I will see that as a declaration of war. Barack Obama said, okay. He had no interest in that beef. Even in LA, California, when they're dealing with wildfires, and then things are out of control, you know what they do to manage it? They watch the path of where the blaze is going, and they go ahead of it, and they burn the grass ahead of it. Why? Because the fire can't move over that grass after it's already been killed. So even in the nature world, fire is sometimes used to fight fire. So who am I as a man to deny nature?